That's right, you're getting your tier list finally. That's right, the costume tier list. This has nothing to do with character strength. We're tier listing all of the costumes in SF6. Every tier list needs to have a top 5, even if it doesn't make any sense. It's like in SF6, everyone has a top 5, and then you ask them, it's like, well, is Terry top 5? And it's like, no. Is he like basically as good as the characters in top 5? Yeah, so is there really a top 5 in the game? No, but you always need to have a top 5. It's gonna be the good category. We'll call it the cunt category. We'll call this tier the boring tier. And the first tier that I would say I actively dislike, we'll do chopped. This is for costumes that are bad and not good. And they suck and they're poo-poo. And then the worst tier is the yee-yee-ass costumes that actively look funny. I think I will have to create a row. This is for tier that's kind of mid, but it's better than boring. Because I don't think Luke's default is boring. I think Luke's default works very well. Now Luke costume 2 is bad. I think it makes him look homeless. It makes him look like a King of Fighters character, derogatory. I think this one's chopped. Now Luke costume 4, I think is great. I think this is by far Luke's best costume. I think it looks really funny in like a good way. Like it kind of makes him look like a dad on beach day or like an underpaid lifeguard. I think it's great. I think this one's excellent. My taste in men in this tier list. That's not what this is gonna be, okay? That's no. This is a fashion tier list. Just because I put the one where he's shirtless at the top doesn't mean that's what this is gonna be, okay? Oh fuck, now I can't put Jamie outfit 4 in. This is peer pressure. I'm not allowed to put this in top tier, which I think is Jamie's best costume. No, wait, I think his costume 2 is kind of stupid though. You know what? I think Jamie costume 2 is yes, and I think Jamie costume 1 can go drip, okay? I don't like the puffer jacket. I don't like the Roadman Jamie. No, thank you. I actually now on a second look, I don't think his costume 4 is particularly exciting. I don't think this costume is that good at all. Manon has the best costumes in the game. That costume 2 is one of the best in the game. Costume 3 is one of the best in the game. Costume 4 is one of the best in the game. And costume 1 is pretty good. Like, I don't think there's another character whose costume repertoire is this good. I guess it does kind of seem boring in comparison because all of her other costumes are so good, but I'm still gonna give it the drip tier. Makes a lot of sense though. The fashion model would have the best fashion. You can fight me in the comments if you want. I think costume 2 has a better hairstyle than costume 1. When I think of Kimberly in my head, I most of the time think of costume 2. So for that reason, I'm putting costume 2 slightly above, but I think costume 1 is excellent. I wanna say Kimberly's swimsuit, probably my least favorite out of the ladies' swimsuits. Actually, no, there might be one that's coming up that I don't like as much. Kimberly generally has good, pretty good costumes, but unfortunately costume 3 exists, and I don't like the blue hair. I am sorry. I think if this costume by default had Kimberly's natural hair color and not blue, I'd put it up here. But we're not doing alternate colors, we're doing the costume as it is. I guess I should give it chopped because the costume itself is nice. I like the fishnet texture. I like the scarf. It's kind of reminiscent of like Zeku or whatever. I like the costume. I like the hairstyle, but the hair color brings it down to me from here to like here. Marissa default, she's a brawler, so she looks like a boxer. I don't really have anything to say about it. It works. It's better than her costume 2. I think her costume 2 is fucking hideous. I don't like this. I don't know what they're going for with this costume. The sunglasses are like cute-ish, but the rest of the outfit doesn't do it for me. But at least her costume 3 is her best. I always really like it when costumes do interesting textures, and I think the lace texture on this is cool. It's something different. The hair on this is really pretty. It's just a great costume. Will you guys hate me for this? I think Lily costume 3 is like one of the best costumes in the game. I think her costume 2 is ass and her costume 1 is mitch. She looks like she's about to go to Finland. Nobody should ever go to Finland. But now costume 3 should have been her default. Lily costume 3 is so good, it makes me want to play Lily. Costume 3 and costume 2 are the best men outfits in the game. I think no man in the game has better drip than JP1 and JP2, or JP2 and JP3. But JP1, he looks too skinny, you know? It gives him like a jacket. Gives him more volume. Costume 3, same thing, right? It makes him look a little bit more bulky. It kind of looks like a cape. But costume 1, like the skin tight suit doesn't work for me. He ends up looking a little goofy. He ends up looking a little bit like a stick man. I think JP's proportions look a lot better when he gets a little bit more volume. I'm trying to explain men's fashion as someone who knows nothing about men's fashion. But I just think when you have some kind of coat, it looks a lot better. And I also am gonna put her costume 2, the Street Fighter 5 costume costume with like the layer underneath looks a little silly. Like she had this fuck-ass layer underneath that I think ends up making the costume a little bit like blend together. But you can't really like tell that it's supposed to be an open jacket, and I think that doesn't work. But I think in Street Fighter 6 it gets fixed because you can immediately tell that it's an open jacket. I don't have much to say about it. I just think it's adorable. I feel like I have so little thing to say about DJ. I think the old DJ looks really bad. The only strong opinion that I have about DJ is that his old look is bad. I'm not gonna give you points for an old costume. If your old costume is bad, then you're going into boo-boo tier. But Cammy's old costume is really good. Now Cammy costume 3 is like the poster child of boring. Why did they give that to her in a game where you get your one costume every 2 years? Like if this was a game where Cammy had 8 costumes, I'd think it's pretty cute. But when it was her only like costume for a while, it just being a jacket doesn't exactly excite me. I like that they committed to him having a beard. I think them doing a cop-out in Street Fighter 5 where he like has a beard but he doesn't in his default appearance, it's not good. But I think here they actually committed to him having a beard, and I think it paid off. I think it's good. It looks like a very recognizable Ryu. It makes sense they didn't alter it too much. I think it's a good default. Being said, the model doesn't look great when it's shaved. I have literally nothing to say about Honda. We are literally moving on. I have nothing to say about Blanca or about Honda. I also have nothing to say about Blanca. I'm ideologically against Blanca, so I'm giving them... Okay, can I explain the Blanca-chan? Can I explain the Labubu costume? It was pretty funny when they did it once, but I feel like the bit's over now. It just like, it doesn't hit when you tell the same joke again. He needs to hide. The wait, that's true. I don't have to see Blanca on my screen, so I'll give it 1 higher. I think the costume itself is fine. The hair is just bad. I think it's always a bad sign when I can't tell his costume when you can't tell 2 costumes apart. If you show me Guile costume 1 and costume 2, I couldn't tell you which one is which. I think always that's like the problem I have with Blanca, what I have with Honda. It's the game where you only get 3 costumes. If 2 of them look very similar, that's bad. Now I kinda like that Gen's homeless, especially because non-homeless Gen doesn't look that grey, but Tokido Gen kinda goes hard. I think I prefer homeless Gen to classic Gen in this game. I think homeless Gen gives him like a fresh design, but I think the problem is that the model really fits him being homeless. So classic Gen ends up looking a little bit strange. I think it does to some extent have the problem that JP has, where the clothing is so skin tight it ends up looking a little bit goofy, but I don't mind it too much. I think it's fine. Like I think it works the way it is. I wouldn't change anything about this costume. I think maybe if they did something different with her hair here, I would like this more, but I think the classic hair buns are cuter. I still prefer classic Chan over costume 1 Chan. That being said, costume 3 Chan is incredible and costume 4 Chan is the best swimsuit in the game. I love this style of One Piece swimsuit. Like if I was gonna wear a swimsuit, this is what I would wear. I think it's by far the best. The hair is super cute too. Is it the best costume in the game? It kinda might be. It actually kinda might be, yeah. I think Zangief costume 1 and costume 2 go in this tier by default because I can't tell them apart. This is a tier for Honda, Guile and Zangief, where because I can't tell their 2 costumes apart, they kind of by default end up being boring. Like I genuinely couldn't tell you what the difference between these 2 is. Like this one has white on the pants. I think the pants are shorter on this one. Now costume 3 is charming. It kind of gives him more character, and I think Mecha Zangief is like technically the best skin in the game. Now I feel like a baby if I put it up here because so shiny effect it doesn't equal best costume, but I do have to admit that it's a really sick one. I think shaved Dhalsim doesn't look good, and costume 3 Dhalsim he looks like a weed smoker. When you shave a bearded character in SF6 they end up looking a little bit strange. Rashid costume 1 is grey, and like what is this costume, man? Dual Kevin, you gotta stop using this shit, man. This costume is so bad. This costume is fucking ass. Because I don't spend that much time staring at like the feet, but the shoes on this one are so good. Yeah, Aki's outfit 3 is just excellent. I think it might be this one. I don't like Aki's swimsuit at all. A more normal swimsuit, she would look better. I don't know what they were going for. They were going for this like Halloween thing. I don't like it. Sorry. I think he looks very handsome in the hoodie. I think this Street Fighter 5 looking at is not good. I have nothing to say about Akuma either, but I think that's only because classic Bison looks plastic and this looks like a bootleg Brian. Like I really do think his costume 1 is the best, but it's not because it's good. I'll put it up there because I like it a lot, which feels weird because I put Luke down in Chopped, even though it's like the same costume. This is a Terry costume 2 is flirting and Luke costume 2 is harassment. Terry costume 3 is yee ass but like affectionate. It looks kinda silly, but I think it's supposed to. And I kinda like yeah, I do think my costume top 3 is Chun-Li costume 4, Manon 2, and then my 3. None of Manon's costumes are bad, or Mai's costumes are bad. Now Elena costume 1 sucks and her other 2 are amazing. This is like a definite contender for worst hair in the game. Like your barber fucked your shit up, man. You gotta get a refund for this. But at least Elena costume 2 and costume 3 are like some of the best in the game. Sagat costume 2 kind of has the same issue as a lot of the other classic costumes where they end up looking plastic. Like I think classic Ken, classic Dhalsim, classic Ryu, classic Bison, classic Sagat all look very plasticky to me. Something about the Street Fighter 6 being like too realistic for those costumes. But Sagat costume 1 is good. So, I mean, it's Viper costume too, it's a good costume. I think maybe she looks a little bit plasticky, but the costume is good. We'll do this. I think it's a really funny bit that in my top 5 there's like 16 costumes. Well, Street Fighter 6 also has like 15 top 5 characters, so it ends up working out. Call me stupid and chopped and washed and unk if you don't like it. But thank you for watching. I'm objectively correct now.